Recently, I've been getting a lot of questions, people asking me how did I manage to travel so many countries by such a young age. I have traveled to more than 50 countries. Currently, it's about 54, depends on some countries are not recognized by the United Nations. Discovering the world, it's really one of the biggest passion in my life. And therefore, I also created this channel. I want to share with you 10 jobs I have done so far, which has allowed me to travel and stay abroad. I would say one of the most common work when you read about people working remote is copywriting. Copywriting basically means that you're writing some articles for a company, whether it's for the website. I actually started with printed magazines. So this is quite easy, depends on how much time you have, but you can work anywhere between 1 hour per day or per week up to 8 hours a day. I started like 10 years ago when I was 13 or maybe 12. I started volunteering for a couple of months for a local medium, and then I started being paid per article, basically per page. And this was like a little income, and I have lasted in this position more than 10 years. I was writing for different articles, I was freelancing time to time, I wrote a bigger article, and then I actually shifted from being a copywriter also to creating podcasts and creating videos as well. The thing about copywriting is that you can do it in your local language, because I'm pretty sure every single market needs someone in the local language, so don't worry if your English is not perfect. I was actually copywriting mostly for Czech magazines and for Czech mediums. The other thing which allowed me to stay in Colombia 6 months was my internship. When I was in my bachelor's, in my undergrad program, I was obliged to do internship abroad because that was one of the conditions of the university. So while a lot of my classmates stayed in Europe, I've decided I would go to South America, and I found internship in Colombia, in Bogota. And this allowed me to pay my bills, pay my accommodation as I was a student, and also discover the beautiful country of Colombia. So I guess if you really want to go abroad and you're still a student, having internship abroad is great opportunity, especially if you're European. You just apply for the traineeship via Erasmus funds, you're paid, and above that you're very often also paid from the company. If you negotiate, I really recommend negotiating with the company, and then you're getting practical experience while being abroad, which in my opinion is one of the best options to start if you really want to travel. The other thing which has allowed me to stay abroad for 3 months was my first job right after I finished my high school. I actually got the diploma, and just day after I went to Africa, to Tunisia. I was working in the tourism industry. I was working as animator for a Czech company, and basically my duties were to entertain guests in the hotel. I was in charge of sport activities, so I was playing volleyball, I was playing golf, mini golf, I was doing a lot of sport activities with the guests, and in the evening we had the option also to participate in some theater activities or in some show activities to entertain again the guests in the evening as well. It was not mandatory for us, but we were allowed to join. This thing is not so popular in my opinion. Like, not so many people talk about it, but in my opinion, if you're in high school or if you're freshly in the university and you don't really look for a job increasing your career possibilities, it's really funny job actually. It's quite underpaid. On the other hand, they pay for all your expenses, they pay for your food, accommodation, insurance, and above that they pay you a little bit. By the way, if you're watching this video, don't forget to like this video and subscribe this channel if you haven't done so far, because this will really help to boost the channel and algorithm and show the video to others who are maybe also looking for possibilities to travel and work abroad. The other option which allowed me to travel and stay longer abroad was volunteering. Now, this is not paid position, this is not paid job, I admit, but it was something which allowed me to stay in more expensive countries like Panama and Costa Rica. I was volunteering in the hotels and hostels. The first one in Costa Rica, I was actually like 1 or 2 hours a day cleaning the the kitchen, and I was basically in charge of whatever was needed in exchange for the free accommodation in Costa Rica. While I was a student, I didn't really have a lot of budget, and it really helped me to cut off my expenses and stay longer. So I was living in Costa Rica I was staying in Costa Rica for like 3 weeks. And then I moved to Panama, and I was again volunteering in like a lodge slash hostel. I was in charge of entertaining the guests, so going on a day trips with them and talking to them, so which I would do anyway, and it was really a lot of fun. So I definitely recommend you, if you're traveling and you're not searching for a proper job, this might be a really good option to actually allow to stay longer abroad and travel. During the college, I was doing also jobs like bartending. I was working in the gastronomy. This is also a very easy job to do. Like, you don't need your previous experience most of the time, and it's pretty easy to get it from day one, and you're earning quite good money. Depends if they give you tips or no, but at the end it's good way to save up quickly money, and you can also dictate your hours. If you want to more, you usually get more work, and if you want to work less and you need to be a little bit more flexible, it's also good. However, I felt that I need to do something a little bit different than all the time working in a gastronomy, because it can be really tiring. However, you don't really need to stress, because you can quit from day to the second day. What I've did, and I started almost before the pandemic, was teaching languages. I've decided I want to do something what I'm passionate about, and those are foreign languages. And because I know how to learn quickly language if I want to, I personally learned German, Spanish and English, and I'm also learning a little bit other languages. I wanted to give others this knowledge and these techniques, and therefore I started teaching languages. I started normally in a class. I started teaching through schools, and I was teaching English, German and Czech. And then the pandemic hit. Suddenly I started teaching online. I really like actually teaching online, because this literally I can be anywhere. It's very flexible, and all my students are really, really nice people, very interesting people. So they became also my friends. Another jobs I did, it lasted me just like 2 months, was data entry. Again, there's no previous knowledge required for this job. I had a little bit of free time, so I thought, okay, why not? And basically we were just collecting data and like providing them to the company. It was easily earned money, but it was too repetitive, and my good friend actually lasted like 10 months doing this job, because she was saying, oh, it's so easy. And for the last 3 years I've been doing a tour guiding. I was tour guide in Germany, in France for like outdoor company, and recently I was sent to South America. So I worked as a freelance expedition leader. So I was working with a group of people, leading them through the destinations and being responsible for little daily tasks. And this literally is a job which doesn't feel like job. It's a lot of fun. You're making people happy. You're showing them the places abroad. On one hand, it requires like fully your attention. In my opinion, it's quite difficult to work on something else while you're on the expedition. However, it's a lot of fun. It's actually one of the jobs which again allows you to be very flexible while studying or while working, and kind of setting up your hours. And because I have traveled quite a lot, people were asking me where to go, what to do there. So I started doing public presentations about this topic. Like, I also traveled quite a lot around our Czech Republic, which was also really nice. So it was like a domestic travel, and it was one of the other jobs, but not really official jobs, but I would rather say gigs, which I've done so far. And last but not least, one of the other jobs been doing, it's YouTube. I am super happy that recently I received my first paycheck from YouTube. It's a little money in comparison to how much time I dedicate to YouTube and costs of the equipment, and I really would love to bring it and scale it much more to help as many people as possible with all my tips and experience, to help you to study abroad, to travel the world, and to kind of make the world feel even smaller. Thank you guys for watching. I'm super interested if you are surprised by some of these jobs, and what would you think is really important to know nowadays? Because I think that currently it's really important to actually master some online skill which you can execute anywhere around the world. So don't being tied to one place. In my opinion, it's really important for a human being living in the 21st century. Thank you guys for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.